Welcome to a Sunday Vibes podcast. This is episode number 9. I am your host, Habib, and I'm joined by my co-host. Right, I almost forgot. By my co-host, Janae.
Hey.
What's up? Before we get started, this episode of the Sunday Vibes podcast is brought to you by Crystal Clouds and Dapper Ties. We'll talk about them more in a second here. Crystal Clouds is a song we just played, Songs for My Dogs, off his new EP, Things to Remember. So go check it out. The links are all about everything we talk about are going to be in the description below. But yeah, I think that's all that I had to say about that. Everything's in the link below. We're back. We're back. We took a month-long break here, and we're back. All right. So, obviously, talking about the break, we never released any formal. I forget that I was on camera the whole time. I forgot. I actually had my webcam going this time. And I was like bobbing my head to the music when we started, and I now realize that they probably saw me bob my head the whole time. All right, well,
Good job.
all right, man. Feels bad, man. But yeah, so no formal statement was made. I guess I don't know what you call it. We're not that professional here. But yeah, we just had to take a month off because school had started, and we're just getting a lot of shit went down behind the scenes, and everything was flailing. So to make everything more cement and concrete and settle everything down with Jenny and her fidget spinner,
Damn it.
we had to take a break off. It was kind of like a impromptu break. We never really planned it, but now everything's a bit more stable now that we waited for a month, and yeah, everything should be a lot better quality and more consistent. So the weekly podcast and a full update on the scheduling of the podcast and scheduling of our other productions that are going to be coming out will be, I guess I'll talk about it in the Lost Millennials podcast. But on the Sunday Vibes, we're just here with Janae, just chilling. But yeah, so I got a new computer. I got a
Really?
new computer, Janae. I just built it 3 days ago. For now, it's been like a $800 CSGO computer until now, because I've done no work on it so far. But yeah, man, it was a crazy build. Actually, it took me a few hours, 4 or 5 hours, just sitting there on the ground trying to build it. And when I went to go start it up, nothing would show up on the screen, and I'm like, I broke something. I broke the CPU. Everything's broken. I broke the motherboard. And,
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, so I was like calling everything. I called Best Buy, and I'm like, yo, you guys, are you guys free Sunday so we could I could come through with my PC and see what's wrong? And they're like, yeah, just come on over, we'll help you out. And I'm like, cool. And I felt very defeated. It's like, damn it, I did everything by the book. I did everything as the instructions told me. And then I called Alex, right? And I told him.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, yeah, my shit's not starting up. He's like, have you tried it on the graphics card and the motherboard? Nothing's showing up. And then he tells me, how's your RAM set up, right? And mind you, when I first tried building this, or when I built it the first time and it didn't turn on, I went back, I undid every part of the computer, right? I took out all the wires, the motherboard, the CPU, just to check if I hadn't broken anything, and rebuilt it. And the one part I didn't check was the RAM, right? So what ended up happening is my motherboard prefers my RAM to be on the second and fourth slot, because there's usually 4 slots on the motherboard for RAM sticks. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. But everyone else was watching. But yeah, it's fair.
Keep going.
But yeah, so the RAMs, I actually put them on the first and third slot instead of the second and fourth slot. And so right as I changed it, the computer's like, oh, hello, we can work now. Great. And yeah, so far we're here, boys. We're recording on the new PC. So everything looks nice. Right now, actually, oh my god, this is the worst part. For like the past hour and a half, I've just been sitting here trying to transfer files over from hard drives And it's not fun because it's like upwards for 200 gigabytes each for each hard drive, and I'm just trying to transfer everything over. How's your day been going, Jeanette?
Um, Other than you confusing me just now, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
found this fidget spinner on my bed.
Oh, everyone can hear.
Uh, just little something something for the audio listeners.
Ah.
Uh, I also, I don't think I didn't do anything today actually.
Uh-huh. You didn't do anything?
Well, I went to church this morning.
Oh, okay. That's fun. That was fun. Church is always
Praise the
fun.
Lord.
Praise the Lord. Oh my God. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you praised the Lord. Um
Hashtag praise.
so what I wanted to kind of do with the Sunday Vibes podcast, like just bring up one like cool topic to talk about, and then we could have our minds
Mm-hmm.
just take it wherever we're taking it. So today we're gonna be a bit more educational, boys. And
Oh
Janae,
snap.
we're gonna actually talk about code switching. Do you know what code switching is, Janae?
Nope. Do tell.
All right. So code switching is the act of I'm gonna pull it
Switching
up.
codes.
Yeah, switching codes occurs when a speaker alternates between two or more languages or two or more styles of speak. All right.
Okay.
So basically, how at home you and I would probably talk in our native languages to our family, but when we're out, well, when we're
Blah blah
outside,
blah.
yeah, but when we're outside, we're talking to our friends. We usually talk in English. Oh my God, Janae, please stop that. Please stop that.
Okay, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh my God, that was like right in my ear, and I'm just like, what is that? I thought I was going crazy. But when you're outside talking to your friends, you're usually talking in English, right? Or
Yeah.
it's also a stylistic type of thing. Whereas, okay, we're just gonna shift all our papers together.
What?
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 Nothing. Um, but yeah, so it's also a stylistic type of thing where in your with your friends you're talking more relaxed, or you're talking way more lenient. You're not as professional with your friends, but when you're at work, you're a bit more professional in your speech, and you're making sure you pronounce everything and not using as much slang, stuff like that, right? Like you have different
Yeah. Oh yeah,
patterns.
definitely.
Yeah, and I forget what my sociology teacher said. She said something like people just do this naturally, or we do this to put on a facade, right? To
Oh
blend.
yeah, 100%. Because I know, especially at my new job,
Yeah,
like with you, I can curse like a freaking sailor, like nobody's
freaking say
business,
yeah,
right? But with my parents, I don't curse, but I'm still more on the chill side, or
yeah.
with my family, really. But when I go to work, like especially at like 8 in the morning, like I'm like, "Hello, good morning. How are you? Thank you for calling." And I'm like, I am never like that. But
Damn.
it's like at work, I
Yeah,
have to
she's
put
never.
on this thing.
Janae's never answered my calls like that. She's like, "What the fuck do you want?" And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like,
"I'm sorry,
don't
Janae."
fucking bother me in the morning. Like, what do you need? Are you dying? No? Okay.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes.
But I'm getting paid, so you know.
Yeah, I'm not paying Janae, so I guess that's why
Nope.
I don't get that treatment. Fair enough.
You,
Um,
you gotta pay for first membership here.
damn, it's
Come on
like
now.
Patreon. It's like Patreon,
Yeah,
huh?
man.
I
Gotta.
gotta maybe. Oh, that reminds me. The Sunday Vibes or all the podcasts are released early on the SoundClouds. We have in the link to blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. All
Blah,
the
blah, blah, blah.
podcasts are released early on the SoundCloud. We have a link below. It comes out about a day or two early, whatever I'm feeling like. But it's always early. All right, either a day or 2 days ahead, and then you could just enjoy it. Use the audio experience. Usually stays up for about a week before it's gone on SoundCloud because I don't want to pay for a premium membership. Um,
Damn.
but yeah,
Not even SoundCloud.
yeah, not even SoundCloud. But yeah, so with code switching, my teach okay, so it's about a facade, right? That's how it was explained to me in
Yeah.
sociology. I got to thinking, right? I started thinking with my big old noggin, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no. But I got to thinking. I was thinking, um, what if it's not about like having a facade and like having being socially accepted, right? where it's
Mhm.
more as turned into, because once you work at a place long enough, you start getting more relaxed with those people, and you start, going into a bit more slang as well. Or you just speak very relaxed. You're not as professional around them anymore, right?
Right.
And I got to thinking, right? That really got me thinking. What if code switching? And I haven't done any research on this, but from what I've been taught in school, in college, in my class, um, it was taught that it's a social thing that we put on a facade to fit in with a certain group, right? But like,
Uh-huh.
what if we do it because our brains recognize that this is the best form of communication with this other person? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I see that because I notice, or I don't know if it's just me or if, maybe a lot of other people can connect to this,
mm-hmm,
but I notice that with even with different groups of friends,
mm-hmm,
I have a slightly different behavior
yeah,
than I with other people. Like with my best friends,
yeah,
like my true to heart BFFs,
yeah,
I'm like I don't care. Like I don't have to try to put any kind of demeanor on
yeah.
because
She really
you guys are
doesn't.
stuck with me.
Yeah,
Like it's it through for life.
yeah,
But whereas I have like the farther out in my friend circle you go, there's a slightly less demeanor. Like I'm nicer or I'm
mm-hmm.
more well behaved or well, not that I'm like an asshole, but
Well behaved.
like
When
there's
she's
just
with her
different.
regular friends, Janae's not all over the
I'm
walls,
an
just
angel.
twerking
What?
everywhere. Like what?
What?
Yeah, but I feel like
Yeah. Or
that's.
especially like with you guys, like with you and the guys,
Mm-hmm.
I have one type of demeanor, whereas when I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, it's totally different, and that's just like one aspect. And then there's also like at my job, there's a certain behavior I have with certain people who work in one section that I do with,
Yeah,
like the higher management staff and everything.
exactly.
So it's just that's the best part. That's
Yeah.
I feel like that's the part of you that plays well in that situation with those people.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, yeah, just so the communication's clear and everyone's understanding what they're doing, right? So there's no confusion, more or less.
Yeah, like that's the best way you can communicate to those people in that way.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only thing against that thing, against what my teacher said at the time. And it's been like 3 weeks since she's taught us that, and I haven't brought it up again in class. Um, because at first I was gonna do it, but then, sorry, at first I was gonna bring it up like the next class. I'm like, yo, I made this discovery. Like I was thinking, right? And I was like, right as class
We have
started,
evidence on a podcast. Don't worry.
right as class started, I was like, yo, I don't want to be an asshole. Like, like I don't want to be like that nerd. Like, no, Mrs. Teacher, that's actually false. Like, I
You're
don't
wrong.
like. I actually think this, and I didn't want to do that. And then and then next class I think about it, I'm like, nah, it's just me expressing like my thoughts about it. She'll probably just love it, right? And then that whole period, I was like, nah, she probably hate me. She'd hate my guts or something. And I'm like, fine, I won't do it. So then the fourth class comes around, and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually gonna do it. And then I realized we're like a week ahead, or like we've
Like it's a week late.
yeah, it's like a week or two behind, and I'm like, I can't talk to her about this now, and like, so I was debating. I'm like, I could talk to her about this like after class, when we're together, or like I could just stand back, hang out after class, and just talk to her because she's a really cool teacher, anyways.
You sound like the socially awkward boy who's trying to like ask this girl out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Like you
I should
can't
like
like
just
you had a social interaction like she borrowed a pencil from you and then like a week later you're still contemplating whether to ask her out or something.
yeah, and I'm like, do I ask for my pencil back, or like how do I do this? And
Do I
then
forget about the pencil? Like do
yeah,
I just buy a new pencil instead?
yeah, that's basically what happened. Yeah, man. But then in the end, I was like, I still haven't done anything. You know what I'm
You still
saying?
don't have your pencil back?
Yeah, I still have the question in my head, and I'm like, should I ask? Should I not ask? So at this point, I think I'm just gonna one
Why
day
don't you
just
just like shoot her an email or something? Like, hey, I have an
you say
educated
shit
question.
her an email.
Shoot.
Oh,
Pew pew.
I thought you said okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll send her an email. Ah, that's so weird though. Like, just send a teacher an
Just be
email.
like, hey, I have an educated question about the subject matter that we're studying.
I guess, bro.
Da, 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 da.
Talking about weird emails. All right, so I'm in this nutrition class, and we're doing a project on euthanizing people and if it's like good or not.
Uh-huh.
And for this project, you have to have one partner, right? You have to write an essay, you have to make slides, and I think you got to record yourself presenting the slides, and then send that to her. Um, so you have to have a partner for all this, right?
Yeah.
So I put up on our discussion board, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm looking for a partner. Hit me up. Send me a private message if you want to partner up, and I'm down." So the first person hit me back. We'll call her Natalie, right? Natalie hits me back.
Okay.
I'm like, "Cool, what's up?" She's like, "Yeah, man, I'm also very driven. I want to get this project done like 5 days before it's due, so we could go over all our data and like make sure everything's legit." Um, and I'm like, "Cool, cool. This person's like down, right? They're just trying to get it done, and then we could just go on with our lives afterwards." Well, I met up today's Sunday as we're filming. So yesterday I met up with Natalie, right, to
Uh-huh.
do a project, and we met at like some at the A-Leaf campus of HCC, and that campus is freaking pretty, right? Um,
Yeah.
we met up there, and she's like, "Oh my God, you don't look." Or by the end of our session of like studying and getting our project done, she's like, "You know," I'm like, "What's up? You're not exactly what I imagined my partner to be like." And I'm like, "What does that even mean?" Because on our little portal thing that we have, the teacher has it mandatory that you update your picture on the account, right? With your face and everything. So so you know who looks like what, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Bro, my selfie's on here, my picture's on here. Like, what is she talking about? She didn't imagine. Maybe like I'm not as like thuggy or like, I'm not as like a punk as I look in my pictures, you know what I mean?"
Right.
Um, and I'm like, "What does that mean?" She's like, and she pulls up my profile. And the pictures are very small, right? They're like about the size of a quarter or a nickel on screen. You can't even zoom into them or blow them up. Um, and she zooms in and she looks at it. She's like, "Yeah, I mean, I looked at your picture and it looked like, I thought you were like 35 years old." And I'm like,
Jesus
"What?"
Christ.
"Oh, like 35." She's like, "Yeah, I thought," and by my post, she's like, You sounded very mature." And I'm like, "Well, he's probably 35 or something, like middle aged. Um, I thought you were bald, you know?" And I'm like,
What?
"Middle aged and bald?" And she's like, "Yeah, like the complete opposite. And like your skin color. I thought you were Arabic. Like I thought you were an Arabic person." And I'm like, I mean, I tried to do the best of my situation. I'm like, "No, I'm not, but my family is from there. Like, my great grandfather was from there, I guess." And I'm like, I'm just so taken aback. I'm like, "What in the world is this lady talking about?" And this isn't like any young, like, she isn't like super young, like our age, like 22, 21. You're 19, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. So she's not like around our age. She's like late 20s. She already has a kid and a family. And she's telling me this, and I'm like, so, so like, I don't know if I had to take it like a good way or a bad way. Like, how do I take that?
I I don't know.
Like, I don't know either. But you know what? I'm
I mean,
positive
I
we'll
guess
figure
it's a
it.
good way because she thinks you're very mature, and that's kind of hard thing to have,
Well,
2017.
Janae,
But like,
well, I'm
she
not
called
very,
you bald.
Janae, I'm not very sure right now, but I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out after this ad read. This episode is brought to you by wearedapperties.com. Let me just pull up their little
Dapper ties, dapper
banner.
ties.
Ba 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 bam bam. There it is. There's all their information, boys and girls. Ba 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 bam ba ba bam. So this episode is brought to you by WeAreDapperTies.com. We Are Dapper Ties is a company created by brothers Andrew and Julian who believe that feeling and looking great should be and affordable right to all. So whether you're wearing a suit and tie daily, heading to your first interview, an advocate of classy dates, or you just like to look good, you need a Dapper Tie. Andrew and Julian have carefully curated beautiful designs to offer you a selection of knitted, elegant, and unique affordable ties. Go to wearedapperties.com and enter your promo code VIBES, that's VIBES, and get free shipping on all your orders over the US. Go to wearedapperties.com, enter the promo code VIBES. We Are Dapper Ties, smart, affordable fashion. Yeah, so I follow them on Instagram, and those ties
Mm-hmm.
look great. Like, honestly, I'm not even BSing right now. Like, those ties look really good.
Would you say they be looking dapper?
Yeah, like they look hella professional. Like, and they look very unique. You know, like nowadays there's a lot of silk ties, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's cool and all, and that's like what the norm has been for a very long time. But just seeing that, man, just seeing like, I don't know, because their ties are knitted, right? So you could actually see the knitting in them, and
That's awesome.
yeah, that's really awesome.
You should send me a
Yeah,
link so I can check this out.
the link is in the bio, in the description of the podcast right now, so you could go check that out. Everyone who's listening, use the code vibes and get free shipping on any order you want. If you buy one tie or six, you always need a tie, you know. Okay, so would you, if a guy wears a tie, right, to a date,
Uh-huh.
first date,
Yes.
is it a plus point or like minus points? Like you're going to a nice restaurant, right?
That is definitely plus points. Because
Right.
that means he actually took the effort to even bother with the tie.
All right. So
And then,
like,
like, if the tie is on style, that's like plus points.
damn, double plus points.
Double plus points.
Damn, that's
Get you
crazy.
a membership with those points.
Get your membership. Wow, Jenny just trying to just sell herself here. All right.
I mean, oh,
First, you need to
I'm
pay
just
to get
saying.
like a
I'm just
better.
saying.
All right. No, I'm just saying more power to you. Respect on the hustle. Um, but yeah. So where were we?
I don't remember.
All right. Well, I mean, we were already on first dates. What was your very first date? Like first time you've ever been on a date?
What counts as a first date?
Like the dude was like, "Yo, let's go out on a date."
Um,
Or do you count like you and the person the first time you hung out?
I don't see. That's the hard part because, like, I've
But the
technically
thing,
been dating since middle school, but like the rules that went down during that time aren't the same rules you use now. Because
so
I
so
know in
let's
middle
do
school,
this.
whenever you hung out with somebody, like that was considered dating.
No, let's
Apparently,
not do that. You it's like set. It's like a set thing. All right, like you both
like we
agreed.
set up
Like
to go to this
yeah,
thing.
like you're like, yo, let's go out. Um, not necessarily a date, but like you already know, like you two are hanging out, like it's exclusive and like all that
Like
stuff.
it's an exclusive thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
so very first thing like that. Let me remember mine.
Very
I think for
first.
myself, it was, so this is what happened. I asked the person, I'm like, yo, let's go to the movies, because it was our friend Alex, the same Alex who helped me with the RAM, right? He hasn't been on a podcast, but he's mentioned a lot because he's my best friend. Um,
Is it? I don't know. I know too many Alexes.
Nguyen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
Alex. And so he it was his birthday, and at the time he was going out with, let's call her Natalie too. I'm fucking
I
great
love.
with names.
I love
So
where you're
him,
getting your
yeah,
inspiration from.
so yeah, him and Natalie too were going out at the time, and they'd been going out for some time at that point. And he's like, "Yo, her and I are going out to a movie for my birthday. You want to come along?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, I'll come along." He's like, "Cool," and I'm like, "I don't want a third wheel, right?" And at this time, I was talking to this other person, right? Uh, fucking Caroline. Let's use Caroline.
I was about to say Natalie 3.
No, not. I'm not. Never gonna go. No, never Natalie. But So yeah, I asked this at the time we'd be talking, and we were like best friends at the time, right? So we'd be talking like every day, Caroline and I, and I'd be like, "Yo, what's up? I got these movies that I gotta go to. You want to come through? I don't want to be an awkward third wheel. Let's go." Right? And I think that was it. So what ended up happening is that Alex and Natalie too, right as Caroline comes to the movie theaters, we meet up at the front. Before we buy tickets, the Alex and Natalie, they're like, "Yo, this game is on sale at Best Buy," and Best Buy is like a 20-minute, 30-minute drive away, and the movie's like starting in 5.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they're like, "Yo, if we have to go like right now, because I need to buy, because Natalie wanted to buy him this game as a present." She's like, "Yo, I kind of want to get him the present right now, and it's gonna close. So can we go? Like, we're just gonna go. Or is that cool with you guys?" And I'm like, "This
Uh-huh.
this looks so set up. Like, if I was Caroline, I'd be like, this boy just wanted to go out on a date and said it was like a double date with our friends, and he lied to me." And I'm like, "Bro, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me." And I thought like I felt like really bad. Like, oh no, like she probably went to hang out with the group, and here she is just with me. And it was really weird because Caroline and I would have never met face to face at that point, right? We only knew each other like
Uh-huh.
online. Apparently, we had like school and classes around the same time, but never together. We'd never run into each other. It was really weird, but yeah. So that was the first time, I believe. It was a lot of emotions packed into one. But we watched this movie about what was our we made up our own little story. It was about like gay vampires and glitter.
Were you watching Twilight?
No, it was about vampires fighting, I think. Like war between like a king, like two kings, and one was a vampire or something. I don't remember though. It was something like that. But yeah, that was my first time. I think that was like senior year. Yep.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was very weird, but I did the whole knee test thing. You know what that is?
No.
You
What
don't.
is the knee
Oh my
testing?
God, girl. I kind of don't want to tell you because it'll ruin it for like the guys. Or you could try this actually. You could try this yourself, okay?
Oh
So,
yeah.
so
Might mean my smooth skills.
yeah, yeah, you could try this. If I can do this right and it works, you can for sure, all right? So,
You can do it too. Just call now.
yeah, you get to learn tips with BB right here. So what you do basically is, let me remember correctly. Okay, so basically this scenario would be optimal at like a movie theater type of thing, right?
Okay.
Nowadays, a lot of movie theaters have recliners in them, right? Like they're all recliner seats. So it's
Yeah.
very difficult to do them now. But back in our day, when
Back in the day.
yeah, like
Sunny.
there would be like normal size seats, right?
Yeah.
Um, and they'd lean back, but they weren't like full on recliners. So what you do is basically, um, while you guys are watching the movie, right? A
Mhm.
person is always aware of where their feet are, right? Like whatever they're touching, wherever they are, right?
I guess.
So when that was happening, I gotta make sure my fucking door's closed.
Don't want
Okay.
your secrets to come loose.
Yeah, I don't want my secrets to get out. So while that is happening, right? So while we were watching the movie, I just pushed my knee out a little, and I just moved it inch by inch until we touched knees, right? We touched knees, and I was
OMG.
like, I didn't know this was like a test, like people on the internet like actually discussed this or not. I just did it because I was like might as well check it out, right? So I did it.
Hey, check my knee out there.
Yeah,
Come touch it.
so I like put my knee and we touch knees, and it's like if the person moves their leg back, right?
Mhm.
Like it's more like they're not as interested in you, right? I don't know if this like super works at all, but I've tried about 2 or 3 times and it's worked, right? So it's like, it's the approval rating for your boy is nice. Um and it's worked. And like if they keep their knees there, it's like, yo, they're kind of interested, they're cool with it. It's like a little bit of physical contact. But it's the knees, so it's like, you're not like super weird, it's like just
It's like step one.
Yeah, it's like you're just feeling out the waters. You know when you dip your toe into the water to see like how the temperature is? It's kind of like that. Um, but yeah, that was my whole experience there.
Quick question though. Does that count with elbows?
Uh, no, I want to say no, because I feel like I could count with elbows. I know what you mean with like the armrest and everything.
Yeah, because I know there was a couple times where like I would go on a movie date and like I don't know if this is because there was some armrest hogging going
Mm-hmm.
on or like what, but like I know every time I put my arm on the armrest because I like to keep in my space
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like touching random strangers. It's like a weird thing that I do. I just sit
Yeah.
to my space. And then like the guy would always be like all up in my armrest. I'm like, okay, are you in my armrest or are you actually trying to like make a move here? Like what's
Um.
happening?
Ooh, that depends on person to person. I feel like, because when I sit like next to a person, if it's a random person, I don't really give a crap, and like we could share an armrest if they want to, so I don't mind touching arms like that.
Go ahead, touch my arms.
Yeah, like some people get weirded out, but like I usually have a jacket on at all times when I'm out and about, because like the fucking movie theater gets super cold at times. So I'm like, there's no direct skin contact here. It's all good, bro. Come through. Let's snuggle our arms together.
Right,
But
so how would it be slightly different with knees if you're wearing pants?
because you know where your knees are, like your knee has
I
in
really
in
don't.
our reality, your knee has no business being in someone else's space. You
Have you
know?
ever sat cross-legged before?
Yes, I have, but you're not cross-legged at a movie theater.
Says you.
I've been to the movie. You've never sat like that.
I do all the time.
You've never.
Or at least have one leg that's bent all the way.
What do you mean?
I've never sat like that.
No, you've never sat like that.
Yes, I have.
No, Janae, stop, stop. You don't.
Maybe never with you.
I guess I gotta now observe all your movie dates. And let me know the next time you go on one, and I'll be like 2 seats back. Like,
I'll send you a picture and be like, check this out.
no, I'll just be 2 seats back. I'll be just watching y'all. I'm like, how she sitting? She doing the test? And I'm like,
She cross-legged? She
yeah,
cross-legged?
yo, we should actually do that. Like,
You
you go,
stalked me on a date to see if
you
I cross my legs?
no, 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 no. Like, you go on a date, right?
Uh-huh.
You and the guy sit on one side,
Uh-huh.
and I sit on the other side of the guy, and I'm just chilling.
So like he's in the middle?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just gonna be acting like,
Are
what's
you
up,
gonna be
dude?
trying to touch knees with him to see like
Yeah,
what's
if
going
he's
on?
down, I'll be like, yo, what's up? I'll try
Right?
testing
Just
the
text me in the
waters.
middle of the movie like, hey girl, she down. He down.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, he's the knee test passed. He kept contact with me. He's
Right?
down. And
It's
I'm
your
like,
turn.
he actually might be gay. Actually, your
Right? Like
date's not a
watch him
date. I
not
think he
knee
just
test
thinks
with
that.
me.
He's like, cause he's doing. Oh man, I'm like, well, if you ever need to know, Janae, all right, if you can't dial it down on someone, just let me know. I'll help you out with that.
I got you.
I'll be like,
See,
that.
I'm not really aware what my knees are though. Like I never think about where they are.
No, no,
Like
no.
I
You
am
never
sometimes
consciously think
subconscious where
about
my
them.
no, not my knees, my feet. Because sometimes I kick people
Yeah.
because I'm always moving my feet. So I'm sometimes I think about where my feet are,
No,
but I never think about where my knees are.
exactly. You never think about it, right? So if you move your knee, or if someone moves their knee and it touches, they have to be
Boy,
like
that means
acting.
I've been giving out all the wrong signals, I'm sure. Like some poor guy probably did the knee test with me and I have no fucking idea.
You're like, what is this going on? What? Okay.
Like is this a yes? Is this a no? What you
Yeah.
doing?
I don't know. I mean, would height of the person have to depend on that too? Like, what if I'm a short person, right? And I can't do the knee test as well because my legs don't reach the ground. You know what I'm saying?
That's my daily struggle.
Because
When you find the answer, let me
if they
know.
don't reach the ground, then I can't really be doing the knee test that well because they won't surely as well don't reach around the armrest there.
So how the heck am I supposed to be doing the knee test?
Uh, while y'all are standing.
Hey boy, come over here.
I mean, you gotta be really close when touching knees. So if
But
you
Even
Yeah,
still, like
I think that's a
if
very
I'm standing
forward
up
move.
and he's standing up and he's taller than me, his knees aren't going to be in the same place my knees are.
Yeah, yeah. I guess he'd be kneeing your femur.
Like if he's like fucking daddy long legs over here, like I'm never going to make it.
Well, would you ever go? What? You wouldn't be out and about with daddy long legs like that.
Well, there's some people who are not that tall, but they happen to have long legs. Like that's
Oh,
where their
I'm
height
kind of like
is.
that
Their
actually.
height's in the legs.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. My torso is kind of small. It's actually an
See,
insecurity
I'm
that I have.
small everywhere.
I
Like I
like
got
it.
short stubby legs and a short stubby torso.
Oh,
But I know there's some people who are short, but their most of their height is in their legs. It's kind of weird, but it
yeah,
happens.
yeah. No, it's very bad because then you buy extendo tees to make your torso seem longer and your legs to seem smaller, and then you just feel
Yeah.
like a
Or like
freak every
whenever I
time you
buy
look at
a
yourself in the
shirt, the
mirror.
shirts are always longer than my torso is, so it
Yeah,
constantly looks like I'm wearing a baggy shirt. When it's like, nope,
but
this
it's
is
in
the only
style
size
now.
they got.
Extendo tees are in style now, isn't it?
Thank God. But
Yeah.
like when I'm over here trying to wear a uniform in middle school,
You had to keep it tucked in though, so I don't know how it was
yeah,
baggy for you.
you know how much material I have to shove
Mm-mm.
in my pants to
Mm-mm.
tight to
It had to be
friggin'
tucked in. But yeah, man, yeah, that was that stuff. Well, there you have it. We talked about code switching. We talked about what had happened in the past month. A lot of interesting and fun things that everyone's gonna be able to see, and that's gonna be able to be produced, right? Big things. Honestly, like
yeah.
people say, like
Oh,
big
quick side
things.
question.
Yeah, what's up?
I never talked about my first date.
I'm so sorry.
So I'm just gonna throw that in there because I know people are probably be
We
like,
got like
Habib, you
10.
suck.
I got you. You can take as long as you want.
Alright. Well, it's actually not that long.
Damn.
It was a group date.
Damn.
So there was like a couple of us. It was like a whole group of us hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like the entire time me and him were vibing more than we were with everybody else.
You were vibing more?
And I want to say, yeah, like you know when you're in a group, but there's that one person that you talk to a little bit more than everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that.
Kind of
And
like the Sunday
then
Vibes podcast. Go check it out
it
on
was like,
SoundCloud. Wait, this is a Sunday Vibe.
oh,
Fuck.
yeah. Hey, go check out this exact thing you're listening to.
Thanks,
Go now.
guys. You listen, but yeah, no, you were vibing with one person more.
Yeah, and I can't. I want to say this is about eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was eighth grade,
Do I know
and
anyone
we
in this?
went. We were walking through the mall, and I wanted ice cream,
Oh,
and so he went and bought me ice cream, and we sat down, and
he
we
just
lost
bought you
everybody
ice
else in the
cream?
group. So I quickly had to like text my friend like, "Hey, where'd you guys go?" But I wasn't really caring.
Ooh,
Like we were just sitting in the food
ooh,
court, just talking for a while,
ooh,
right? And then
ooh.
I can't remember. I
I
think
wasn't
we
there.
all just got picked up, and that was the end of the story. Like that was that whole date.
Wow. But that was that you okay? So that was like your very first date.
Yeah,
That's
but I was
cool.
surprised because like for a first date, it was pretty
It
sweet.
wasn't a it wasn't a generic middle school date where it's like, oh my god, everything's going to crap, and he's just like worried out his butt. It's like, oh
Right,
man,
like the world. It was like yeah, it was pretty chill and it was very sweet because
it's
like
the most
we were just
shocking
like
part for myself.
vibing, you know?
The most shocking part about that story for myself was you wanted ice cream and he bought you ice cream.
Right?
Sorry,
Come through.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Um,
It's just that easy. I'm kidding.
but like, that's crazy.
That's all you
Mm,
gotta do. If a girl says she wants ice cream, you get her ice cream. Done.
yeah, I wish I was a girl at times. Because if I told someone I want ice cream, they'd be like, "You want to go get some?"
I
Like,
think that's what made it magical.
you want
Because
to
I wanted
go.
ice cream and he gave it to me.
Like, if I tell, like, if I'm ever telling a girlfriend, I'm like telling a girl, I'm like, "Yo, I kind of want ice cream," you know? It's not like she's gonna they're gonna go over and they're gonna be like, "Yo,
She's gonna be
this
like,
is it.
okay,
Here you
cool.
go." Yeah, she's like, "So you want to go get some? Like, like what the shut the fuck
Do
up."
you
Like,
want to go get it for yourself?
she's like, "You could have it, I get. I mean, we could go. Like, what place do you want to go?" And I'm like, "All right, guess I'll go." Then I'd be like a nice person. I'd be like,
Guess I'll get it.
yeah, I'd be like a nice friend. Like, okay, you wanna buy something too? I guess we can both get ice cream at this point. Um,
I guess I'll make it a group activity.
gosh,
Gosh.
I guess have to pay twice now instead of just playing 0 times.
Jesus.
Great.
You know what? It's over. It's over.
No second date now.
You failed the ice cream test. Boom. Ice cream
You
test.
passed the knee one and you were doing great. I thought I saw real potential
I
in
thought
this.
we had it. You know, we didn't nail the ice cream test like I thought we were. We didn't get the scores we needed. Like, come on.
Feels bad, man. But with that being said, on that depressing note, on it as like every other podcast,
Of course.
go for it, guys. Just go for it. All right, just do the knee test. Let me know. Let
Touch the
Janae.
knees, buy the ice cream.
Yeah, let Janae and I know. Like, just try all these things on your dates, right? Even with a new or old partner, and let us know
Or
about it.
if you don't even have like the kind of confidence, just like do it as an experimental thing, you know?
Yeah,
Help
just try it
help
as an
us.
experiment.
We need data.
Yeah. So let us know, and this way you have a specific plan. That's what we provide you on these
And it's
podcasts.
still a win-win, you know?
Yeah, like you'll know, right? You'll know for a fact if they're if they're down, if they're nice, right? And then we'll know if our shit works or we've just been doing it wrong the whole time
Or
for
we're
like
just like
20 years.
dumbasses this whole time.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're sitting going this lonely. But with that being said, thank you very much everyone for watching the podcast or listening to it if you're on SoundCloud. Yeah.
Thank you.
Go check out Janae on her social medias. Her link will be in the
Yeah.
description below. The link to our the EP by Crystal Clouds in the link below. The Dapper Ties link in the below. Use code VIBES. Tweet at them. Let them know I sent you, so they can pay me. I just kind of need that payment. This shit ain't working. YouTube's fucking cracking down on everyone. Jimmy Kimmel's making money, but Casey Neistat ain't making money on the same topic. It's crazy.
Boy needs to eat.
They're demonetizing everything out here. But yeah, thank you very much, and thank you, I guess.
Bye.
Again, bye bye.